Hi, Lisa. Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Thank you.
Yep, we can hear you, Lisa. Very good.
Here.
Here. Mr. Colvin.
Here.
And Mr. Pollitt.
Mel, you still with us on the phone?
Mel?
You're on mute, Mel.
Muted, Mel.
I'm here.
Okay,
You hear me now?
yes, sir.
Loud and clear.
Okay, so we confirm we have a quorum, sir. All right, the first order of business, well, before I,
Now you can mute, Mel. What would you like?
It's ordering dinner.
Yeah, exactly.
before we go to approval minutes, I want to introduce our fall intern, Juan Amaya. Juan, you want to stand up? He's a Lynn University flight student and he's our fall
Yay.
intern.
Okay.
And the dean is here.
Oh, indeed. Oh,
Ah.
you better be He's watching it, Juan. Okay, first order of business, approval of the minutes for the meeting of August 17th, 2022.
So moved.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, any questions, comments, revisions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Agenda changes. Ms. Bennett, are there any agenda changes?
No, sir.
Public requests. If any member of the public wishes to provide a comment on any item, the time to do so is now. Please complete a public comment card identifying the item upon which you wish to be heard and provide it to Ms. Landers. The public comment cards are located in the back, right by the door. Each member of the public wishing to comment will be provided with 5 minutes to do so. The chair reserves the right to move the public comment opportunity on a specific agenda item to the point in the agenda when that item is to be considered and or to extend the allotted time per speaker. So Ms. Landers, is there any public input? Okay, consent and agenda. Ms. Bennett, are there any items on the consent?
No, sir.
And are there any federal, state, or municipal items?
There is none.
Okay, financial report, item number 7, presentation of the August financial report. Randy Nobles, our secretary treasurer, I'll turn it to you.
Yeah, just a reminder, we have 9 days left in our current fiscal year. We turn the calendar October 1st over to a new fiscal year. We approved the budget for that. So we're winding down the fiscal year. So with that, I'll turn it over to Robert Abbott.
Robert. Thank you, Robert Abbott, Finance Administration Manager.
As you see, the total operating revenues year to date are approximately 6.2 million, which is 15.8% above budget year to date. This is primarily due to an increase in fuel flow and customs revenues. Total operating expenses year to date are approximately 3.3 million. This is down approximately 20.9% budget, and the largest reason here is lower as in project costs. Especially when there's a master plan, there's this delay because of time of business. And as you can see, the net income before depreciation approximately 2.9 million. So on behalf of airport management and secretary treasurer, respectfully present the August 2022 financial report.
Okay, thank you, Robert. Do I have a motion to approve the August 22?
Number.
Second, Bob. Okay, any questions, comments, corrections? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. Next is our tenant reports and requests. And the Civil Air Patrol support request is first. And with that, I'll turn it to Robert Abbott. Or Robert Bradley.
Good evening, thank you, Chair, Robert Crash Operations Coordinator. Airport Management has received a request from the Civil Air Patrol for a donation of $28,100 to cover the rent and utilities of the two hangars from October 2022 to through September 2023. As the board is aware, the airport has been supporting the Civil Air Patrol for over 30 years, and this donation is also included in the fiscal year 2023 budget. We have Colonel Joe Martin here who would like to say a few words and also answer any questions that the board may have.
Welcome, Colonel.
Thank you. First of all, I'd like to thank you all for your generous support over the years. Also the Phone Secretary Management for their support. And obviously the Penn University. We have quite a number of Penn University pilots that are actually doing work with the Civil Air Patrol to help out the kids that we have. I did pass out kind of a little packet of photos that I would like to go through if you don't mind. We have a diverse group. We're up to approximately 80 members now. Recruiting approximately 35 to 38 cadets, and the rest are adult members. You can see that it's a diverse group in that picture. Second page. Top picture there, we've got a record attendance at the Fort Wing encampment. This is where the vets are sent up. In this particular case, they were at Camp Landing, which is for old movie buffs. That's where G.I. Jane was filmed. So we had, I think it was 13 or 14 cadets that were sent up there. There's also color guard activity you can see on the next page there. Flipping the page, you can see the usage of the hangars. I know that we probably should have an open house and invite the board to come and see one of our meetings one of these days, probably when it gets cooler. You can see the interior of the one hangars where the cadets, you can see there, that's our aerospace officer doing a STEM. They're building little 50 rockets. The top picture is actually the adults who meet in the aircraft hangar where the aircraft is stored. They utilize wireless. We have in one spot, and I think that's projected over from looking the page, of course, like I said, the STEM. Bottom right hand corner, you can see the two cadets looking at the progress chart. There's a number of requirements that they have to go through in order to get promoted through the program. Again, flipping the page, you see more drilling, and you have physical fitness, which is a part of the program. And then flipping the page again, you can see the adult part. We're actually potentially going to be supporting Puerto Rico if now that the hurricane has passed by there. So our members are required to have a water survival training, which they do within the water. And then the opposite page, you can see we just had two cadets come back from national flight encampments, and they were able to solo in a glider. We're now working on trying to get at least two more cadets going to a powered flight academy to get their solo in a powered aircraft. One item that has been coming up, which really something that we definitely love, is the United States Air Force has actually funded Civil Air Patrol to take one of these cadets from solo to private pilot. So they'll pay actually the whole bill. There's several requirements that they have to attain. Number one, they have to have already passed their FAA written. Two, they have to have soloed in an aircraft already, and then they'll fund the rest, which is I'd say a $16,000 tab per cadet. To date, I think they've done approximately 300 of these throughout the country. We haven't had one yet in Boca. We were this close last year, but we're projecting to do better next. And that's pretty much all I have. If you have any questions regarding our program or what we're doing over there. Yes, sir.
How many hours a month or so are you putting on your own aircraft?
We put at least a month. I mean, we're flying 50, a lot of hours on the aircraft. And we just sent it in for annual, so every 100 hours it goes up. Right now it's up in Daytona. We have a second aircraft now that's in the hangar that came down from Stewart. We're going to be able to fly more hours once we get a lot of the pilots that have just now joined through we have quite an extensive qualification process for airplane pilots. Obviously, they have to be an FAA qualified pilot, but then there's additional things that they have to do for the Civil Air Patrol, etc. So,
Due to the increased worldwide demand for more pilots and pay increases at many of the airlines, are you seeing just a growing number of people who are wanting to participate?
actually, we are. There's a lot of people that are had a significant increase in stalls that are joining the program. A lot of them are interested in the aviation aspects. One of the other programs that we're starting is in the aerospace education arena. We're going to be doing adult model rockets. So that's like mid-size and higher. There's a launch site over in Dykes. It's called Dyer Park up in West Palm. They have a launch once a month. You can only launch to 1,200 feet. If you want to do the stratosphere, you got to go up to St. Lucie. So the cadets will be able to observe that. They have their own model rocket program, smaller. But yes, there's been a great deal of interest in coming to the unit. People that want to learn how to fly. Now, we can't do the pilot education for an adult through private pilots, but we partner with, for instance, Lynn University or other aviation places. Send the also there for that. Sure.
Apropos of your comment about considering having the board visit, I think I can speak for everyone. We would very much enjoy that. We have supported you, and we can, look to continue to support in the future. Perhaps we can look at something during workshop time, which we have already, put on the books for the afternoon time there. If we do have the cooler weather coming up and it's reasonably comfortable, maybe we have a board meeting there, but kind of think along those lines. And then you at the same time can have some kids there, have some demonstrations so that we can get a better feel.
There are some challenges in the unit
However,
that we're in. As far as environmental and whatnot. So these are some things that we're looking at in the future to try to improve the building so that it can, of course, retain air conditioning, things like that. So yeah, try to cool it
Doesn't
back.
need to be perfect.
Right.
Gene, did you have another question? Mel, anything?
I'm looking for a.
No, I don't have anything. Thank you. I appreciate everything that they're doing.
Thank you, Mel. Yeah, I'm gonna look for a motion for the full amount of $28,100. I'll remind the board that we did include this amount in our fiscal year 2023 budget. So that's been done.
Second.
I got a motion, Cheryl, second. Okay, any other questions?
This may be just kind of taking Cheryl's point a step further. I think, the strategic partnerships like this that we have, which would include with, Tim and with Lynn, the more we can do to exploit those, we've done a great job of creating more awareness around the airport. And I think, and a lot of that we're doing through events and sponsorships and whatnot. But I think, some of these partnerships, I mentioned somebody when I was talking about being on the airport authority about the Civil Air Patrol, and they said, what's that? And so, just help them educate the community about what they do, and that this is, part of what the airport's for, so.
Fair enough. Okay, so we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
I,
Any opposed? Unanimously approved. Congratulations, Colonel. Congratulations.
Thank
Thank you.
We'd like a photo op, Mr. Chair,
Oh,
and
yes.
if any board members would like to join us and be in the photo,
Wow.
that way we
Big
can
chef.
post and increase awareness.
Where do you want to do it, Claire?
I think over here.
Want the whole board? We can do that.
You're right in front of
You
the
can-
screen.
We have some photo shy folks. but-
Yeah, okay.
Anyway.
Mr. Chairman can do it.
Yeah.
Hello. Hello.
I was gonna say, who's taking the picture?
Do you want me to stand up?
We'll get you the little booster.
All right, with me, 1, 2, 3. Another 1, 2, 3. All right, perfect.
Great, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Right.
yours.
Okay. Next item is staff, executive director and staff reports, noise abatement and operations summary for August, and Robert Pratt will do that as well. Robert?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Before you is the operation and maintenance report for the month of August 2022. During the month of August, there were 6,115 operations, which is 6% more than operations August last year. Jet A deliveries were down 14% compared to August 2021, and FX deliveries were down 52% compared to last August. There were 5 different households that filed noise concerns during the month, most of which were from the online web portal. During the month of August, Customs had 97 aircraft clearings, which is slightly up from 86 total aircraft clearings for August of 2021, and there were no visits there. These 97 aircraft arrived from a total of 14 different countries, and there were 34 after-hour clearings in month, of which 20 occurred on days in facilities. And that concludes the operating report for the month of August. I'll be happy to answer any questions if there are any.
Any questions for them? All right, that accepted. Thank you very much. Next item is the Boca Raton Airport Scholarship Fund Annual Contribution. I'll turn that to Claire
Yes.
to introduce.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As the board will recall, every year we come before you to request authority permission to distribute the $25,000 contribution to the Boca Raton Airport Scholarship that is administered by the George Snow Scholarship Foundation. It's also an opportunity for us to hear directly from Tim Snow, representing the foundation, on the status of our fund, as well as how our scholars are doing. You'll remember that there were 3 scholars this year who received our scholarship, and Tim will give you an update on them, as well as some new initiatives that we're looking to collaborate on. To again, as Mr. Nobles mentioned, to sort of further expand and broaden our partnerships, but also hopefully promote awareness of some of these initiatives that we can support and that we are supporting in the community. So Tim, if you'd like to take the podium.
Welcome. Thank you guys very much. I always enjoy coming and speaking before you all. I just want to give you sort of a little bit of an update on some statistics really of your scholars. Currently, you've got 9 students that are in college that you're supporting. Typically, that would normally be an 8, a number of 8, because we're typically helping 2 per year. But we've got 1 young lady, I believe, that's going to be graduating in December. So when that rolls around, we'll be back to 8 students. And you've got 5 students that have already graduated that are out in the workforce now. Your students are attending schools, of course, like Embry-Riddle, University of Florida, Liberty University, which has got a big program, Georgia Tech, University of Central Florida, and Florida Institute of Technology. They're studying majors including aerospace engineering, aeronautical engineering, aviation science, and aviation. And their average GPA is a 3.63. think we had one slacker in there that had 3.16 or something.
That's the aviation major.
Story of my life. But I just wanted to touch on a few other topics. One is this partnership that we have with the Florida Prepaid College Fund Foundation. And so what we do with that is through our partnership, we're able to buy 4 years of tuition at half price. So we take about $12,500 of y'all's money, buy that program and award that to a student, which has a value of about $25,000. So it's a great way for us to leverage our money and really help students that are attending Florida public schools. And it's been a good program for us. We did it in 2021 for the first year, I believe, and we did it again this year. Very fortunate to be able to have that partnership and how you guys participate. And Claire just briefly mentioned, but I just hired somebody, our organization, we're pretty good at getting students in college, out of college, graduate from college, we've got about a 9% graduation rate. But one of the things, new initiative that we have, we're working on really a career development curriculum where we're going to be working with our students right when they first get their scholarship, and the object here is to give them the skills that they need to get the best job that they can get right out of college. So we're teaching them things like resume writing skills, interview skills, social skills, you can a whole array, a whole curriculum, financial literacy, all this. It's really an exciting program. And part of that are internships. And the end goal for us is we need to, I believe, keep these very talented young people in Palm Beach County once they graduate. So we just had our first sort of success story where we placed one of our scholars as an intern in a local company, and she just received a job offer and accepted that job offer. So we got one student now coming back, but we really want to expand on that. My team member that's in charge of that recently met with the staff here, and she reported back. It was a really very productive meeting. So we hope to be able to not only with some of your scholars, but some other Snow scholars, place them in internship roles within the airport authority or even within the airport in general. And we think that's going to be a great program. And finally, probably some not bad news, but the balance of your endowment, the Kennedy Day endowment, is at $117,000, which is, it's good, but like all, at least my 401k, it's suffered greatly this last year. But we're invested in balanced portfolios, so we take a good look at that. Anybody have any questions for me? Sure.
You don't mind this too. First of all, when you compiled the curriculum for the activity you were just talking about with financial literacy, did you partner with whom to determine what courses, what content, etc.?
We really come up with the content and then go out and find individuals who are, I'll give you a great example of that. Many of you guys know Jerry Fidelity. Well, Jerry is retired and is teaching medical ethics at Lynn University. And so we've asked Jerry to develop a business ethics course, which we're going to record, and our students will be required, to view that. We've got a learning management software that it's called snowsuccess.com. It's not up and running. Go on there, you're going to see coming soon page, but that's sort of the kind of thing that we're doing. One of the first things that we'll do with them is it's kind of like a personality test, and just sort of let the kids understand that, if they're going to be a doctor, are they really suited for that? And so we're having a lot of fun, coming up with these kind of innovative things. To my knowledge, there isn't any other scholarship provider in the country for this kind of thing, certainly not at the extent that we're going to do. So I hope that answers.
Yeah, and just one more quick one. Off the top of your head, do you happen to recall, and can you give us a little bit of a story about some of the graduates? Where are they working? You mentioned 4 or 5 going
Yeah.
through the program, and nothing specific, but it would be nice to know where they have landed, how they're doing on a work side of their lives.
I honestly don't really have a story related, but I will, we'll beat the bushes a little bit. You know, we've got what we call our Snow Family Network, which is really for our alumni and our current scholars. And the idea there is to engage our alumni to help and mentor our current scholars. So let me find out what some of them are doing, because I think that's important information.
And I think that would also be valuable. Claire is going to be talking a little bit later about our 75th anniversary coming up. It's not until next year, but I certainly envision kind of taking your idea about all these partnerships that we have, not to say that we can't talk about them now, but really memorialize them and to take, here's what, you know, here's our partnership with you. And yes, it's great to get these young people through college. But then what? Where have they gone? How are they helping? Where, you know, and you know, some and it makes a good story, not only for whatever book we probably put together and online, but it makes a good story.
And it's very forward thinking,
It's very
instead of just
forward.
looking at our back
Yeah,
history,
yes,
it's looking ahead.
yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
So that's why it would be important.
Yeah, we'll.
Doesn't need to be tomorrow, but
We'll find out where.
it would be for tomorrow.
And that would be very helpful to us, as I know Christine has tried to do some outreach with the students, and they're very busy at keeping up those grade point averages. And then once they graduate, getting that first job. So we have not really had a lot of success in following up with the students as we've tried to do exactly what you described. So any help that we can get from
Yeah.
from Church Snow would be great. Yeah, thank you.
Gene, did I see you had a question?
Yeah, and you mentioned some of the follow-up programs you have, such as the resume writing and financial. So that's very interesting to me. I'm, can you expand upon that a little bit? I find that extremely interesting.
Yeah, I definitely can. So what we're doing is, again, is working with them from the very beginning, from the first day that they get a scholarship from us. So one of the first things that we're going to do with them is this personality test, right? And so we're partnering with the local Jewish community center, and they've offered to do this kind of testing for us, and then do the analysis of the testing and report back to us. So we're partnering with a career source up in West Palm, and then again some of these more specific individuals or people that have expertise in an area, and we've got, you know, things that we want our students to do in the freshman year, sophomore year, for example. We're going to do a LinkedIn seminar on how to maximize that, and we want all of our kids in the first year to have 25 contacts, and in the second year they need to have 50 contacts, and so on until they graduate. I wish I, you know, had some other examples. The financial literacy I talked about, the resume writing, the interview skills. We're partnering with a local financial services company that's going to do mock interviews for our students. So anything that, you know, can enhance their chances of getting their sort of quote unquote dream job right out of college, and then really with the focus of getting them a job here in Palm Beach County. Because I mean, I can just tell you story after story of amazing rock star kids that the one I fall back on a lot. MIT, she graduated from Spanish River High School, went to MIT, ran the radio station at MIT, gave violin lessons at MIT. Every summer, Motorola would hire her to work out in Austin, Texas. And as soon as she graduated, they hired her, and she's living in Austin, Texas. And we don't want that to happen with as many kids as we can help. Again, these are young people who have overcome many challenges, and in spite of those challenges, have really risen to the top of their peer group, and so we need to keep up there on this county. And if you'd like, I can send you sort of, we've got a deck that we can send you guys that will go into more specifics, things that my old brain can't remember.
I find that interesting, and I am interested because you're touching on subjects that unfortunately aren't being taught in our universities and our high schools. They should be, unfortunately. And so I'm glad to hear that you've instituted those programs.
Thank you. Yeah, we agree with you on that. I mean, it's and again, unfortunately, a lot of our kids have overcome major challenges. A lot of them don't have parents that go on to college, so their parents really can't advise them or help them. And so we're there to be that support system for them. I'll send you that deck if you guys can take a look at it. And look, if you have any ideas on it, I mean, we would love to, expand on that curriculum.
Bob, did you?
You mentioned the 90% graduation rate. What are some of the reasons why the 10% don't make it?
Well, there's a whole variety of reasons. I'll tell you that mental health is a major issue with college students now. We're a part of the National Scholarship Providers Association, and we'll be attending a conference in October. And it, almost every other topic is how to deal with the mental health challenges of students.
Is a lot of that coming out of the pandemic?
It certainly has escalated because of the pandemic. I will say that I don't really know why that is, but we definitely see that. We have a high school to college transition program that all of our students go through, which we really want them to. Well, we want to prepare them for college because it's going to be a new environment for them. So we think that helps a little bit, and we also, every student, including your students, gets a subscription to a service called ComPsych. And this is really a great service. All of our scholars have an opportunity to participate in it. But if they were experiencing any mental health issues, they can call, it's like a 24-hour hotline, and they can actually call a mental health professional to help them with that. It's a very sensitive subject, and I think, you really got to be trained to deal with that. I mean, and that's why we did what we did, because, our staff was trying to help them, but we truthfully don't have that kind of expertise. So we subscribe to this service, and it does a lot of other things as legal services for our kids if they really need that for needs. But yeah.
One more, Jim.
Yeah.
Do you happen to recall if Myers-Briggs personality profile test that you're using Myers?
It is not. It is
Predictive index, BI.
No, you know what? I want to say it was called Holland something. It's Holland something. I had never heard of it, but it's what the Jewish Community Center utilizes.
Just when you talked about the mental health issues, that Myers-Briggs and perhaps the PI as well also had a component there after you take the test and get the results that talks about, here's what this means for you. Here's your profile, here's how you communicate well, here's how you need to interact with others. And it really feeds into the psychological component of suicide, depression, et cetera, that's so prevalent. So anyway, perhaps this was
So just to follow up, I Googled the, what percentage who start college actually graduate, just as a national statistic. It's only 62%. So if you're at 90, that's phenomenal.
Well, remember that number includes our own sons and daughters, right? I mean, so kids who have had every advantage afforded to them, and our population is not that. So that number is even more impressive when you think back.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the clarification.
Very much.
Good job. So I'm looking for a motion to move to disperse the budgeted amount, which we have budgeted of $25,000 to the Boca Raton Airport Scholarship.
So moved.
We have a motion, we have a second from Gene. Any other questions or comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous passes. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Good news.
Big check again.
Oh, you're gonna take it.
Well, at least one Robert.
Yeah. On three. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you all so much. Appreciate it. Thank you all very much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
Okay, our next item. C is the ATCT radio communications and electronic upgrades contract award, and Scott Covart is going to present this item. Scott?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Back in August, we released an invitation to bid for the ATC communications and electronics upgrade. You may recall back in summer, we received a grant for the construction portion of this project. It involved replacing and upgrading all the radios, communications, backbone, wiring, switches, touch interface devices and so forth in the tower that the controllers use to communicate not only with the pilots, but with the other ATC facilities such as Palm Beach and Miami. We received 2 bids, and we had actually extended the bid period by about 3 weeks than we normally do, just because of the environment, to try to maximize the response. So they were very competitive bids. They were within a few $1,000s of each other. Ultimately, Robinson Aviation Incorporated came in as the lowest responsive and responsible bidder. The name sounds familiar. It's because they're also the provider of the air traffic control services for the FAA here at Boca Raton. That's one line of business they have, and they also have the construction and engineering, which will be doing this work. The other bidder is actually our current maintenance provider for the air traffic control towers, so they're both very capable. But Airport Management recommends approval of resolution number 0923-22, awarding the contract for ATCT radio communication systems upgrades to Robinson Aviation in the amount of $579,388.60.
Okay, thank you, Scott. I'll look for a motion to approve that.
Second.
Bob? Okay, any questions for Scott? Any questions on the process that we follow?
It's amazing how close the bid is.
They were very
Considering those dollars, they must use the same bid software.
$5,000.
Yeah.
All right, any other questions? Okay, hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimously approved. Thank you. All right, next item is a request to extend the public transportation grant agreement for a project with the state of Florida Department of Transportation for master plan and ALP at the Boca Raton Airport. So Robert Abbott is going to cover this before us. Robert?
Yes.
What's going on?
Yeah, so as you may recall, the board already approved the public transportation grant agreement with DOT for a master plan and the EALP update back in August 2020. This grant was for 50% of the federal FAA share, which the project cost was about $909,000. And so the DOT portion was $10,542 for that. The FAA portion is approximately 98%, and that covered about $888,000. $888, and then the airport authority would take on the other $10,502. This grant is set to expire again this year, December 31st. So as due to some of the delays, the master plan projects, discussions we had with the FAA, we need to extend this grant. So airport management is working with DOT to extend the grant for another year. The FAA portion is not up for spot expiration, so that's not included in this request. With that, airport management recommends approval of resolution number 092422, authorizing a 1-year extension to the public transportation grant agreement. The state Florida Department of Transportation, the master plan and EAL.
Great, thank you. The resolution is in our board package like all the others. So I'll look for a motion and a second.
So moved.
Cheryl? Second. Randy? Okay, any questions about the resolution or the reason for the delay? All right, hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Thank you very much. Next item is the Disadvantaged Business Enterprise Program and Scott Kovacs.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In accordance with the 49 CFR Part 26, all federally obligated airports are required to maintain a disadvantaged business enterprise program. DBE, the point of the DBE program is to foster interest and participation in disadvantaged minority-owned, women-owned, veteran-owned businesses in the local area and federally funded projects. So we worked with our DBE consultant, CNS Engineering. You may recall we awarded that to a new firm. I believe it was last year. Lisa Howard's on the call. If you have any questions for her after I'm finished here. While the DBE program only applies to federal projects, we as a general policy try to apply to all projects, even at the state level, just because we feel it's the right thing to do. As you read through the plan, you may see that it reads a little bit funny. That's because it's based on a big bulky federal, regulation, and there's specific parts that have to be specifically as stated in the regulation. So there's some areas where it's repeated. That was purposeful. It wasn't a oversight on our part. It's just one of those quirky
So it's to meet
federal
the
reasons.
requirements of the federal statute.
Yeah, it basically follows the Part 26. Make sure that you include all the different elements that are required by law. So airport management requests and motion to approve the DBE program and authorize the executive director to sign and submit the program to the Federal Aviation Administration. And as mentioned, Lisa Howard is on the call. She's the consultant if you have any in-depth questions on the DBE requirements.
Okay, great, thank you, Scott. So first we'll look for a motion to approve. Some, okay, and a second.
Second.
Okay, Rand. Okay, any questions? I definitely noticed it's very thorough. It's like 70 pages or something like that. So a lot of sections to it. But any questions of Scott or from Ms. Howard on the line? All right, hearing none. All right, hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It is passed. Thank you. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Ms. Howard. Appreciate it. Our next item is corporate identity and community engagement program. And Ms. Vanessa Chen will introduce this item for us.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, Vanessa Chen, Community Engagement Session. I will be giving a brief update on what we accomplished in the past quarter. And we're sure these items you already seen very successful, however, we just wanted to highlight it again for each of you. First is our website analytics. As you can see from the picture, the streamline is still steady. The returning users and new users numbers have gone down compared to last quarter since the summer is our slow season at the airport. We did have 3 different dates spike, the first on June 27th, the second on July 22nd, and the third in August 29th. The next slide is our social media analytics. As you can see, the top network audience growth summary of Twitter and Facebook followers were up during this period, and Instagram followers were down compared to the last year. On this slide, it shows the highest total engagement for Facebook during this quarter. We wanted to recognize Robert Abbott for achieving his 8th certification. Our way to get back to airport attendants was by hosting a tenant appreciation ice cream social event. And we wanted to recognize Robert Pratt on graduating from his Boca Chamber 2022 leadership Boca class. Next up is the George Snow Scholars for 2022. In June, our executive director, Claire Bennett, and Airport Authority board member, Mitchell Fogel, had the opportunity to attend the meet and greet to meet the 3 scholarship grants. Next up is the back to school supply drive. We hosted the Spirit of Giving Network. As you remember, we held a back to school supply drive, which had a good turnout. A special shout out to Reliable Jet Agents for their big donation. Next is our other airport management outreach we have done. During this last quarter, airport management attended and hosted several events. As you can see, things from local leadership, 2022 class we hosted, and for example, events as Scott Cohen attended like the BRAA annual conference and next. The next slide is the tenant outreach. As you all know, on July 28th, we hosted the Ice Cream Social as a tenant appreciation event, which was successful. And a special shout out to the Civil Air Patrol cadets for their support by the setup for the event. And lastly, here are some of the events planned for the fall, which you will all receive more information about. That concludes my presentation. Is there any questions or comments?
Questions for Vanessa? Yes.
Wow.
Scott, you have a question?
No, I'd just like to point out that tomorrow, Clara, our executive director, will be receiving on behalf of the Airport Authority, the Empowering El Sueño Americano Award, this first annual, I believe, from the Hispanic Entrepreneurs Initiative. It's a local initiative that Claire's very involved in. She sits on the board. We've hosted several events of theirs here. They've met throughout the community. It's a really great committee and group, and we look forward to the program tomorrow. And certainly congratulations.
Way to go, Clara.
That's great recognition.
What was that award again called?
Empowering El Sueño Americano. I'm glad they had at least a little English in that. I know that first word is a little more difficult in Spanish.
I like Spanglish, so I can.
It'll be better.
Congratulations.
Thank
Very
And
much.
thank you all for your support.
Thank
It's
you,
a great,
Vanessa.
it's a great initiative. I'm proud to be a part of it. Thank you.
Great recognition. Okay, everyone, we're coming to the end here. The authority board member requests and reports. Any board member with any items we didn't cover, anything you want to follow up on? New agenda items? Thanks. Okay, any public comments? We get any comment cards? All right, any other business? Anything else? And then we'll close with the next meeting is October 19th, 2022 at 5 p.m. right here in the conference room. We did talk, some of you were not at the meeting last time about maybe changing the time, but we all agreed, the folks who were here, we'd wait till all of us were together. So there's some consideration, maybe moving to 1 o'clock. But right now, we're sticking till 5 unless somebody really wants to make a move. So we'll leave that for the future, but I just wanted to remind you of that. Okay, with that, I'll look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion second.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye. Meeting adjourned. Yay. Thank you.